Hey, what's happening, guys? Jennifer Waters here. I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. I run Seven Figure Dojo, which is where we help martial arts school owners take their dojo towards 7 figures with the help of our scaling systems and a dojo assistant. In today's video, we're digging into Leila Hormozi's famous 3 business growth strategies you do not want to miss. All of the valuable pieces of information. And if you don't know who Leila Hormozi is, she is the wife of Alex Hormozi, and together they run a company that does over $100 million per year. They actually got started in the gym industry. So who knew that lifting weights and personal training could eventually turn into a multi-million-dollar company? But these two are a powerhouse in the business world, and today we're gonna unpack some of Leila's strategies that are absolutely phenomenal and amazing strategies, and you can apply these same exact strategies to your martial arts dojo right now and be able to grow. So the very first thing, if you notice, is that Leila actually breaks down in a lot of her videos that having the right people in place is one of the key ingredients to growth. There's no doubting this. Like, having the most important people in your organization to help your organization grow is crucial. And one of the things that she talks a lot about is having the right operators. I can definitely tell you that I have had multiple operators inside of our flagship dojo, and the operator that I have right now is absolutely amazing because she is very much like me, but she's also very much opposite of me, which is helpful. And that's one of the things that Leila talks about is the stages of growth that you're in your business. So if you are in the stage of growth that you might be in for your business where, you know, it's just you're a one-man show, like you're doing all the things, you have to wear all the hats. But at some point, when you get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to take the next level. I need to have somebody underneath me that can help me with all of the operational side of things, meaning like making sure that they're taking, care of all the administrative things. For a lot of people, having someone that can operate day to day the customer service interactions, the following up on new students and leads, this seems very far out of reach for them. And so that's one of the reasons why so many people love our program, Seven Figure Dojo, is because we actually help you do that with a dojo assistant. So instead of having this big, long, giant leap to actually getting people to work inside your business, you have one that's already trained and right there working beside you so that you can find someone else that can also take care of the things in-house, that may not be something that you want somebody else to take care of. So running the day-to-day operations, for instance. So for example, right now in my flagship dojo, I don't have to go out and teach any class. I teach classes because I like teaching classes. I love teaching classes, but I don't have to. And I don't have to manage people's schedules, and I don't have to figure out if the utility bills got paid. I don't have to do any of those things anymore because we have an operator that does all of those things. And that's one of the key elements that Leila talks about, is positioning yourself with the right people in your organization. So think about this right now. Does everybody in your organization, do they know what they're doing? Like, that is a key element. Do they actually understand what their job roles are? Has it been clearly defined? If you haven't gone through and clearly defined exactly what you expect out of people, then don't be surprised when they do something that wasn't expected because you never set the expectation. So that's a big piece of it. Now, if you continue following any of Leila's content, you also know that she is big on values. She wants her whole entire organization to operate off of values, not necessarily standard operating procedures. And with this point, I can agree. Like, to be honest, it's something we still, to this day, are working on in our flagship school, is being able to have a thick book that has all kinds of systems in it. And actually, we've completely abandoned the idea of having a thick employee handbook. In the industry, this is just something I think that's been out there forever. Like, you need to have an employee handbook. And honestly, maybe it was a sales tactic from people and gurus before that used to drive this industry, was you need to have an employee handbook. But Leila talks about so much in her videos. She says that you need to have a value-driven organization because people need to be able to make decisions on their own. And this makes sense because when you're trying to scale something, you can't make every decision inside of the company. If you do, you'll just run out of time in the day because you're making a decision every single moment for every single little thing. maybe that's you right now. Maybe if you were to step back from your martial arts dojo, it would completely shut down because you were the sole person. You were the one that are responsible for all the decisions. But honestly, what you have to look at is you have to look at this, equation that she's put together, and that I agree with, that you should have a value-driven organization, not something that's strictly and solely based off of standard operating procedures that you stare at on a wall and you try to put together and then throw into a binder, because honestly, no one's reading it. No one is reading it. Let that sink in. Finally, the other thing that I can say that I really gained a lot of insight on, and I can say that, in my flagship school, that at times we kind of really veered one way versus the other way. And this is such a key, important behavior. One of the things that she talks a lot about is being growth-oriented first and ops-oriented second, meaning everything has to be about marketing and acquiring new customers, or marketing and acquiring new students in the case of martial arts school owners. And then secondly, it's about fulfillment and operational guidelines and making sure that all the pieces are put together. Because if you only focus on operational guidelines and making the best, version of your curriculum and tweaking everything until you just have it perfect and abandon enrolling new students, you're going to have this group of people that are inside your dojo that eventually are just going to quit because life happens. And then you're going to be stuck with very little students. That's why you have to have both sides of the equation. You have to have your new students coming in the door because of all of your marketing efforts and your sales system. And then you have to have a very tight back-end system where you can lock in that retention. You can increase the customer lifetime value, which if you're interested in that video, make sure you go over here, wherever it is at. And make sure you go check out that video that I did about Leila Hormozi's business growth hacks. And you're gonna want to go watch that. But these three key things, people, making sure you have the right people in place, making sure that you have a list of values that people are operating off of, and then being growth oriented, it's one of the reasons why they were able to scale their companies all the way up and now own and operate a multi-million, we're talking $100 million plus company. And one of the reasons why clients with Seven Figure Dojo are able to also be able to increase the revenue that they're receiving, because they're working on all these aspects with us. We're working on developing out and giving them the right people in their organization to take some of the pressure off with our dojo assistants coming in. Those people are being value driven. They're working on behalf of our clients. And then finally, we are growth oriented. We're helping clients acquire new students and customers right away. And if this sounds like something that you're like, man, this sounds really interesting, go to sevenfiguredojo.com. You can download right now. You can get access to a free 7-figure framework course. And when you go to sevenfiguredojo.com, you'll enter your information, then you'll be taken right over to the portal so you can go ahead and start learning today some of the same 7-figure frameworks that we've used to grow our flagship school to over $1 million plus. We've generated over 10 million over the last several years just from one location and one martial arts school. Until next time, guys, thanks so much. Keep being awesome.